Prime Field.
Welcome back to Prime Field, basketball fans. Today we're diving deep into one of college basketball's most fascinating stories, Jaden Quaintance's return to Kentucky. And let me tell you, this isn't just any ordinary recommitment. This is a testament to the incredible power of what many call the most passionate fan base in college basketball, the Big Blue Nation. Even saying those words carries weight in the college basketball world. But what exactly makes Kentucky's fan base so special? Why do players from across the country dream of playing in front of those blue-clad supporters packing Rupp Arena? Imagine this. You're a top high school prospect. You've got offers from every major program in the country. Coaches are blowing up your phone. But there's something different about Kentucky, something that goes beyond just basketball. When Jaden Quaintance first visited Lexington, he wasn't just seeing a basketball court, he was experiencing a religion. In Kentucky, basketball isn't just a sport. It's the heartbeat of the state. From the coal mines of eastern Kentucky to the urban centers of Louisville, Wildcat basketball unites an entire commonwealth in a way few things can. "We always liked Kentucky," Hammond Quaintance, Jaden's father, revealed after the recommitment. That simple statement carries profound meaning. The Quaintance family wasn't just evaluating a basketball program, they were considering becoming part of a community that would embrace them like family. What other program can boast fans who camp out for days just to get tickets to a practice? Where else do regular season games feel like NCAA tournament matchups? The atmosphere at Rupp Arena has been described as electric, deafening, and intimidating, all rolled into one perfect basketball environment. But it's not just about the noise, it's about the connection. Kentucky fans don't just cheer for players while they're wearing the blue and white, they follow their careers for life. Former Wildcats return to Lexington decades later and are greeted like conquering heroes. That lifetime membership in the Big Blue Nation Brotherhood is something money simply cannot buy. For Jaden Quaintance, a player with tremendous potential and NBA aspirations, the chance to play in front of 23,000 plus passionate fans every night isn't just exciting, it's career-defining. The spotlight at Kentucky burns brighter than perhaps anywhere else in college basketball, and that spotlight can transform good players into legends. As we continue exploring this fascinating recommitment, remember this. When Kentucky calls, it's never just about basketball. It's about joining a tradition that transcends the sport itself. Now let's talk about something that weighs heavily on the mind of every elite recruit considering Kentucky, the breathtaking legacy of Wildcat basketball. When Jaden Quaintance walks into the Joe Kraft Center, he doesn't just see a state-of-the-art practice facility. He sees the ghosts of Kentucky's storied past. The walls literally speak to you at Kentucky, adorned with images of legends who have worn that jersey before, from Dan Issel to Jack Goose Givens, from Kenny Walker to Jamal Mashburn, from Anthony Davis to Karl-Anthony Towns. 8 national championship banners, 17 Final Four appearances, 58 NBA first-round draft picks. The numbers are staggering, almost overwhelming. But here's the fascinating part. Instead of being intimidated by this legacy, the best recruits are drawn to it like moths to a flame. Imagine being a 5-star recruit like Quaintance. You could choose a program where you'd be the best player in their history. You could rewrite record books elsewhere. But at Kentucky, you're trying to earn your place alongside genuine basketball royalty. That challenge, that opportunity, has a gravity all its own. There's something special about putting on that Kentucky jersey, former Wildcat and NBA All-Star John Wall once said. You feel the weight of everyone who's worn it before you. You don't want to let them down. When Jaden recommitted to Kentucky, he wasn't just choosing a college. He was choosing to write his chapter in one of sport's greatest ongoing stories. That's a powerful pull that few other programs can match. The fascinating thing about Kentucky's tradition is how it continues to evolve. While some historic programs rest on their laurels, Kentucky has reinvented itself repeatedly while maintaining its core identity. From Adolph Rupp to Joe B. Hall, from Rick Pitino to John Calipari, and now to Mark Pope. Each era brings something new while honoring what came before. For Quaintance, a forward with immense potential, Kentucky offers the blueprint for success. He can look at players with similar skill sets who came to Lexington, developed their games, and went on to NBA stardom. The path has been walked before, and Kentucky's player development track record speaks volumes. But it's not just about basketball development. It's about becoming part of something eternal. When Kentucky fans speak about the brotherhood, they're referring to something that spans generations. Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins never played together at Kentucky, but their bond as Wildcats was immediate when they became NBA teammates. That's the Kentucky effect. As we continue exploring Quaintance's decision, remember this. At Kentucky, you're never just playing for yourself or even your current teammates. You're playing for every player who ever wore the blue and white, and for generations of fans who've passed their love of the Wildcats down like a precious family heirloom. Now let's talk about something that simply cannot be replicated anywhere else in college basketball. The game day experience at Rupp Arena and the unparalleled engagement of Kentucky fans. Picture this. It's 2 hours before tip-off in Lexington. The streets surrounding Rupp Arena are already a sea of blue. Tailgates that would make SEC football fans jealous are in full swing. Inside the arena, the lower bowl is filling up for warm-ups. Yes, warm-ups, because Kentucky fans don't want to miss a single dribble. When Jaden Quaintance steps onto that court for the first time in a Kentucky uniform, over 23,000 fans will erupt as if they've known him his entire life. And in many ways, they have. The Big Blue Nation follows recruiting with an intensity that borders on obsession. They've watched his high school highlights, discussed his potential on message boards, and already envision how he'll fit into Kentucky's system. Playing in Rupp Arena is like nothing else in basketball, former Wildcat Tyler Eulis once described. The floor literally shakes beneath your feet when the crowd gets going. You can feel the energy pushing you forward when you're tired. This electric atmosphere is a significant draw for recruits like Quaintance, who thrive on the adrenaline of performing in front of such passionate fans. For Quaintance, a player with tremendous athleticism and highlight reel potential, imagine the rush of throwing down a monster dunk and having 23,000 people absolutely lose their minds. That kind of adrenaline boost can't be quantified, but it absolutely impacts games. What makes Kentucky's fan engagement truly special isn't just the volume, it's the knowledge. These aren't casual fans who show up to be entertained. These are basketball scholars who understand a pick-and-roll defense, who recognize when a player is fighting through a screen, and who appreciate the subtle art of a help-side defense. They don't just cheer the dunks. They appreciate the basketball artistry, and it doesn't stop at the arena doors. Kentucky basketball permeates every aspect of life in the Commonwealth. Walk into any restaurant in Lexington on game day, and the conversation inevitably centers around the Wildcats. Local radio shows dissect every aspect of the program year-round. The team's beat writers have followers that national journalists would envy. For Quaintance, this means living in a community where basketball excellence matters deeply, where your efforts will be recognized, analyzed, and appreciated, where giving your all for the program isn't just expected, it's rewarded with a lifetime of adoration. Social media has taken this engagement to another level. Kentucky players routinely gain tens of thousands of followers just by committing to the program. Their posts receive engagement that would make influencers jealous. In today's digital world, that platform is invaluable for athletes looking to build their personal brands. As Jaden contemplated his future, the thought of playing in front of the most engaged, passionate fans in college basketball was undoubtedly a factor that couldn't be ignored. Some players might shy away from such intensity, but the great ones, the ones who belong at Kentucky, embrace it and thrive under those bright lights. Now let's explore one of the most transformative developments in college athletics, the name, image, and likeness, NIL revolution, and why Kentucky offers one of the most lucrative opportunities in the country. The college basketball landscape changed forever when NIL rights became a reality. Suddenly, players could capitalize on their popularity without sacrificing eligibility, and nowhere does this matter more than at Kentucky, where basketball players aren't just athletes, they're celebrities. For Jaden Quaintance, the NIL potential at Kentucky represents a significant opportunity that few other programs can match. Let's break down the numbers. Kentucky basketball's social media accounts have millions of followers. Their games consistently rank among the highest-rated college basketball broadcasts. Their merchandise sales rival professional teams. All of this translates to eyeballs. And in the business world, eyeballs equal dollars. Kentucky basketball players are household names the moment they commit, explained one NIL expert. The brand recognition is immediate and powerful. Companies know that partnering with a Kentucky basketball player means accessing one of the most loyal consumer bases in sports. Consider some recent examples. Former Wildcats have signed deals with local car dealerships worth six figures. They've launched clothing lines that sell out immediately. They've become the faces of regional restaurant chains. And remember, this is before they played a single professional game. What makes Kentucky particularly attractive in the NIL era is the combination of national recognition with local devotion. While players at other programs might have national appeal, Kentucky offers both. The nationwide audience that comes with being a blue blood program, plus the intensely loyal local market where Wildcat players are treated like royalty. For Quaintance, a player with tremendous marketability, the Kentucky platform offers something precious: authenticity. When a Kentucky player endorses a product in Lexington, fans don't see it as just another advertisement. They see it as supporting a member of the family. That connection leads to engagement rates that marketing departments dream about. The collective NIL opportunities at Kentucky extend beyond individual deals. The program has robust collective support, organized groups of boosters and businesses committed to creating opportunities for players. These collectives have raised millions specifically for NIL opportunities, ensuring that Kentucky players can capitalize on their market value. What's particularly interesting about Kentucky's NIL approach is how it aligns with the program's long-standing players-first philosophy. While some programs fought against NIL or implemented it reluctantly, Kentucky embraced it as an extension of their commitment to player success both on and off the court. Coach Mark Pope has been vocal about supporting players' NIL opportunities, understanding that in today's college basketball, addressing the business side is just as important as addressing the basketball side. For a recruit like Quaintance, knowing the head coach is fully supportive of his off-court opportunities provides a valuable peace of mind. As we continue examining Quaintance's decision, remember this: in the NIL era, Kentucky's massive engaged fan base isn't just a nice bonus. It's a tangible asset that translates directly to player opportunities. For a player making decisions about his future, that's a factor that simply cannot be ignored. For our final chapter, let's examine how Kentucky's new head coach Mark Pope became the critical bridge that brought Jaden Quaintance back to Lexington after initially decommitting following John Calipari's departure. When John Calipari left for Arkansas after 15 seasons at Kentucky, the program experienced an exodus of commits and players that would have devastated most programs. Quaintance was among those who reopened his recruitment, seemingly ending his Kentucky chapter before it began. Enter Mark Pope, a former Kentucky national champion as a player, returning to his alma mater with a clear mission: bring the family back together. What makes Pope's approach particularly effective is his authentic connection to Kentucky basketball. He's not selling something he doesn't understand. When Pope talks about what it means to wear the Kentucky jersey, he speaks from experience. He's felt the roar of the Rupp Arena crowd and has cut down nets as a Wildcat. That authenticity resonated with the Quaintance family. Coach Pope made us feel like Kentucky was where Jaden belonged all along, Hammond Quaintance revealed. It wasn't just about basketball with him. It was about becoming part of something bigger than yourself. Pope's recruiting pitch to Quaintance wasn't just X's and O's, though his basketball acumen is certainly impressive. It was about the complete Kentucky experience: the brotherhood of former players, the dedicated fan base, and personal development both on and off the court. He painted a picture of Jaden thriving in Lexington, not just as a basketball player, but as a young man. What separates Pope from many coaches is his understanding of community integration. He knows that at Kentucky, players who embrace the community are embraced back tenfold. He's emphasized how players who genuinely connect with the Big Blue Nation build relationships that last a lifetime and extend far beyond their playing days. For Quaintance, a thoughtful and mature recruit, this approach struck a chord. He wasn't just looking for a basketball factory. He wanted a home. Pope's vision of Kentucky basketball emphasized exactly that: a family atmosphere where players are developed holistically, not just as athletes. One of Pope's masterstrokes has been reconnecting with Kentucky basketball alumni. Former players have returned to campus, sharing their experiences with recruits like Quaintance. This living connection to Kentucky's storied past helps young players understand they're not just choosing a 4-year experience, they're joining a lifelong fraternity. When you come to Kentucky, you're not just playing for Coach Pope or your current teammates. One former Wildcat told Quaintance during his recruitment, "You're playing for everyone who's ever worn the blue and white. That responsibility is heavy, but man, it's worth it." As Quaintance weighed his options, Pope continued to demonstrate why he was the perfect leader for this program at this moment. He's authentic, passionate, and deeply understanding of what makes Kentucky basketball special. His enthusiasm is contagious, and his vision for rebuilding Kentucky into a championship contender clearly aligned with what Quaintance was seeking. In the end, the combination of Pope's leadership and the Kentucky community's passionate embrace proved irresistible. Quaintance recommitted, understanding that while coaches might change, the heart of Kentucky basketball, its devoted fan base, storied tradition, and commitment to excellence remains constant. As we conclude our deep dive into Jaden Quaintance's decision to recommit to Kentucky, it's clear that his choice wasn't based on any single factor, but rather a perfect storm of elements that make Kentucky basketball truly special. The passionate fan base that lives and breathes Wildcat basketball, the storied tradition that few programs can match, the electric game atmosphere that energizes players, the NIL opportunities that a Kentucky platform provides. And finally, a head coach who understands and embodies the Kentucky ethos. For Quaintance, Kentucky offers something precious in today's transient basketball landscape: authenticity. This isn't a program trying to be something it's not. This is Kentucky basketball, unapologetically passionate, historically excellent, and completely unique. As Quaintance prepares to don the blue and white, the Big Blue Nation eagerly awaits his arrival. If history is any indication, they'll embrace him as one of their own from day one. And if he embraces them back, he'll have a family of millions supporting him for life. For Prime Field, I'm signing off. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Until next time, basketball fans,